And a good afternoon, baseball fans. We welcome you back. The 2025 WWBA 14U division here at the Met Sports Complex. This afternoon's matchup, a good one. The ZT National Prospects going up against the Canes Leonardi Club. The ZT 14U Prospects National team, they'll start on the offensive side. And the Canes will be the home team. They'll get the bottom half of the frame. Again, we welcome you here as we continue to roll on. Tomorrow, Thursday, starts bracket play action, and things will start to heat up on the fields. No pun intended. It's pretty hot as it stands right now, but most of these clubs are only playing one game per day since the tournament started on Saturday. On the defensive side for the Canes to start things off, the pitcher, the left-hander, Parker Perrin. He'll take care of things, starting things for the club out on the mound. Wilson will be behind the plate over in the 3-spot low. And the 4-spot, Leonardi. At second base over in the 5-spot, Gilbrook will sit there on the hot corner, and the shortstop Furnish. The shortstop to start things off over on the left side in the 7-spot, Romanowski. And in the 8-spot, looking for that name of that player, I see the 9-spot in Sudbury. And number 27, we'll get that listed here in just a moment. And we'll be right back. That's the defensive set here to start things off for the Canes. And leading things off for the Prospects, number 12, Carter Nash. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And getting you the player in center field, Bodie Malcolm, will be out in center for the club, and that's the defensive lineup as mentioned for the Canes. Jonathan, your umpire, he'll manage the game. Take care of business, keeping everything in check, working with his partner Kendrick on the infield. Two-man operation, Carlos Avila, the head coach for the Prospects, down on the third base side, and Coach Trey over on the first base side. So Jonathan will put it in play. We're ready to go. Carter Nash will step in. And the ball popped up to the right side. Right fielder, a long route, and into foul territory. One pitch, one out. So Nash popping it up to the right side in foul territory with one pitch. And Blake Barberena will step in. Lefty-lefty matchup here. And Barberena looks at ball one. The count is 1-0. And a strike there. Perrin makes the adjustment, runs it out, gets the strike called. The count evens up at 1-1. With one out, top of the first frame, no score. And the count goes to 2-1 on Barberena as Perrin comes in on him. And missing in the low part of the plate. And Barberena takes a cut. And the count goes to 2-2. And a ball out and a full count. Perrin taking Barberena The 3-2 count, the two-hitter. On deck for the Prospects, Easton O'Quinn. Barberena right side, and that'll drop in outside of the stretch arm of the second baseman. Leonardi moving to his left, but Barberena on board with a single. Easton O'Quinn will step in. And a good stop, no throw down to second. And Wilson kind of trapped that right in his glove at the base of his feet there. And Barberena took off, moves up 90 feet, and a ball at the plate. The count is 1-0. So Quinn steps in with Barberena at second here. And one out. And Chopper, shortstop. One hopper, a good throw is in time, and they go to third. And Barberena getting in. So Barberena taking advantage there. 2 outs on the books, and O'Quinn will have a seat. Jordan Leon will step in. Leon hitting in the 4 spot, comes in as the extra hitter. Prospects knocking on the door here with Barberena at third. And a strike there, locates the outside part of the plate. Good movement and works ahead. The count's 0-1. And Perrin runs it inside, even outs at 1-1. Here with 2 outs in the top of the first. Line drives your friend here. Deep fields, 330 in the corners, 375 into the power alleys, and pulled foul for Leon. 400 dead center right at the batter's eye. So Perrin with a 1-2 count here on Jordan Leon. Prospects trying to convert Barberena over at third. And upstairs, swing and a miss, strikeout. Perrin gets the K. They leave one on. We'll head to the bottom of the first frame. No score. 2025 Perfect Game WWBA event here at the Met Sports Complex. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, on the defensive side for the Prospects, Brody Taylor will start on the hill. Behind the plate, Nateo Victorio. Johnny Elbadar over on the first base side. Charlie Blaylock at second. Over at third, Noah Drolamick. Brandon Manavong will play short for the club. Trey Lawrence on the left side. Carter Nash will run the outfield in center. And Blake Barberena will be out on the right field. That's the defensive set for the Prospects, as the Canes' Leonardi will get on the offensive side. Romanowski will start things off, the left fielder. So day 5 of competition. As I mentioned, tomorrow, Thursday, we'll start bracket play as Victorio sends it down to second base. And we'll be ready to roll here with Romanowski, as I mentioned, the left fielder, will start things off. Jonathan puts it in for Brody Taylor. We're ready to go. Bottom of the first, no score. And Taylor opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1. And swung on, fouled off. Straight back, an 0-2 count. Taylor working ahead here on Romanowski. And Taylor, strike 3 call. So Taylor, the curveball, ends up getting the strikeout. And 1 out on the books here. Furnish, the 2-hitter, steps in. And Taylor opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1. Occasional breeze comes through from center field, which feels very nice, but here under the shade, every bit helps on these warm days here. And the 1-1 pitch, Taylor, good looking pitch on the inner third, just missing there. And the count goes to 2-1. And 83-mile-an-hour fastball for Taylor. Fouled off. The count goes to 2-2. So Taylor taking the 2-hitter Furnace to a full count, with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. No score. Prospects had an opportunity in their first side on the offense, but not able to convert it. Runner at third. Ball's hit. Shallow. And that's going to... Oh, and Carter Nash comes up big. So Nash with good speed, showing his athleticism from center. The ball was hit very shallow. Blaylock rolled off from second, but in between the two, Nash lays it out, pulls it in, and the Prospects will pick up their second out. So Carter Nash coming up big for out number 2. Furnace has a seat. Gilbrook steps in, the third baseman for the club, as Chopper, third base side, and that ball's foul. Geralamick over on third for the Prospects. Well, the count is 0-1 as Gilbrook steps back in. And that gets away from Brody. And the count evens up at 1-1. I don't know if there's any rosin out there. Didn't see anything, anybody grabbing anything in the first frame. On the Kane side, that is an option, but you got to leave it out there for everybody to use. And Taylor looks good. Ball swung on, cut foul. So Gilbrook takes a good cut there, fouls it off, and Taylor and a 1-2 count here. So Brody Taylor takes a look as Victoria sets up. The 1-2 pitch. And Blaylock looked like he slipped when he released from second and on board with a single. So Gilbrook gets on for the Canes, and Lowe, the four-hitter, will step in. So Taylor got a strikeout on the books and a fly out to Carter Nash as Lowe steps in and Gilbrook on board. Bedard will hold him on over on the first base side. Taylor has got a direct line of sight right over. And a ball low and in. The count is 1-0. So the Prospects looking to get back on the offensive side. Canes looking to get something going for themselves here in the bottom of the frame. And the count is 2-0. High fly ball. Carter Nash coming in from center. He'll pull it in. The Canes will leave one on. 1-2-3 inning for Brody Taylor. Actually, one hit. And we will move to the second. Stay with us, no score. Game number 5 here in the 2025 Perfect Game WWBA Championships here at the Met Sport Complex. Chris Allard with the call. Stay with me. Now we'll bring you back into live action here. In the top of the second, no score. Prospects leaving one on, likewise with the Canes, and we're through one frame. Perrin stays on the hill. We're ready to go. Stepping in, Mateo Victorio. So Monster goes by his nickname, looking to get something going here. And Perrin comes up and in. The count's 1-0. And Victorio takes a look at a strike. He evens up. The count goes to 1-1. Victorio, right side, like to have that back. It doesn't get any easier on the first base side. And they put up their first out. Victorio will have a seat. So low over in first. Slow roller right into his glove, and Trey Lawrence will step in. Heat probably a factor. Prospects usually come out a little bit hotter than what I've seen the last couple of games as Lawrence takes a cut and the count's 0-1, but this guy's working hard out in this hot weather. Brody Taylor, pitcher of record for the Prospects, on deck. As Prospects 5, 6, 7 hitters here in the top of the second. Perrin to deal, pitch on the way, ball out. The count goes to 2-1. So Lawrence takes a look in, but nothing there, and the count is 3-1. He's still here in a hitter's count. Ball 4. Lawrence gets on 90 feet. It's a free ride down to first. And Brody Taylor will step in with 1 out. As I mentioned, tomorrow, Thursday, starts bracket play, where the teams will now go into a 2-game schedule per day. I believe it's 2, 2, and 2. Toss back over to first as Lawrence comes back. Obviously, these guys will be put through a big test, especially with 2 a day, working hard even with 1 a day. Throw over, and Trey Lawrence gets through and moves up 90 feet. A good throw. Looked like they had him. Lawrence was smart on the outside of the bag as the ball was caught on the inside, actually on the third base side, as Lawrence gets in safely there. And Taylor looks at a strike. The count's 0-1. Taylor goes down low and gets it. takes a poke, and they're going to shut down Lawrence at third, Coach Carlos. So Taylor went after it and finds himself on board with a single. Runners at the corners, and Noah Geralamick will step in. Running for Brody Taylor, the pitcher, Mason Moeller steps on to first. Perrin tosses one over, and Moeller gets back in time. Lawrence at third. And a ball out. Runner goes, ball's outside, one hopper, and Mueller will get in to second. And a 2-0 count at the plate for Noah Geralamick. So the prospects here with one out, knocking on the door with Lawrence over at third. And a good stop behind the plate, low and in, the count's 3-0. And Geralamick taking there, looks at a strike. The count goes to 3-1. So Perrin had to throw the strike there. And Geralamick here in the hitter's count, he's got a good opportunity. Only with one out here in the top of the second, no score. Prospects and the Canes both in the bottom. Last frame actually left runners on. Ball 4 outside. So Geralamick gets on board. And that'll bring up Daniel Bedard. So a visit out to the mound to talk to Perrin as the prospects load him up. Here in the top of the second, no score. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, Bedard steps in, ready to go here with the bases loaded. Geralamick at first, Mueller over at second, and Trey Lawrence at third. And a lefty-lefty matchup here in the top of the second. One out. On deck, Charlie Blaylock. And the count is 1-0. So Bedard steps out, granted at the plate, as Jonathan says, okay, you can step out. We've seen it go the other way where batters step out. Pitcher throws the pitch and a strike called there. And Bedard Looks at ball two as Perrin comes up and in. And Bedard takes a cut. And the count is 2-1. And Bedard takes a cut, fouls it off. The count goes to 2-2. And Bedard, slow roller, and in and out, off the glove. Here comes one, and rounding hard is Muller, and Bedard gets one through. So Bedard gets one through over there on the third base side for a single and a two-run RBI. Charlie Blaylock steps in. Prospects pick up 1 and 2 here in the top of the second. Runners at the corners. And Perrin comes in on Blaylock. The count is 1-0. And a strike called there. The count evens up at 1-1. If you're seeing some shadowing or darkening on your screen, it's because the sun's kind of covering up some of the clouds rolling through. I adjusted things out, lighten it up for you. And Blaylock laid off, looked like he wanted to pull the trigger. Good looking pitch there as Perrin here at a 1-2 count on Blaylock. Blaylock down the third base side, foul. And a ball at the plate, the count goes even to 2-2. So Blaylock with a 2-2 count on him. Bedard moves up to second. Gerolimic over at third. And the count goes full at 3-2. And Blaylock swinging a miss. Perrin gets it through. And a strikeout there and 2 outs, and Brandon Manavong will step in. So Manavong trying to cash in over on with Noah over at third. And Manavong hit by pitch there and finds himself on board at first. So the bases are loaded for Carter Nash. So Nash will step in. Bases juiced here in the top of the second. Prospect were able to bring 2 over on Bedard. His single got through on the third base side. Gilbrook, the third baseman, laid out and just jumped off of his glove, and 2 were able to come over. So Nash now with an opportunity. And did he go at the plate? The count is 1-0. Well, a 2-0 count to Carter Nash. So Nash steps out, and he'll reload. And Perrin with a 2-0 count. And Nash, chopper, in and out. Oh, and a little broken play there. They get the out in Bedard, but the run comes over. So the run came over. So the run crossed before the tag at third. So the Prospects, they'll get the run. And they'll put 3 up here in the second. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. 3-0. ET National Prospects 14U over the Canes. Leonardi. Day number 5, game 5. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So bring you back into live action. Brody Taylor stays on the hill for the prospects, and stepping in, the 5-hitter Wilson. And the count is 1-0. One hopper, Drolomik plays the bounce, and a terrible throw. So Drolomik throws the ball 10 feet over the first baseman, Bedar. Reach on air, E5. That doesn't happen very often, but there it just unloaded. That ball, nobody could have got it. So over to Run Miller will step onto first base for Wilson. And Dunlap steps in. Good push bunt. And the out at first. Taylor able to step on the bag in time. As Leonardi will step in the 7th spot with 1 out. So Bedar feeding to Brody Taylor. Off of the first base side, we're good there. 1 out. And Taylor runs it outside. The count's 2-0. Taylor steps off for a moment. Miller over at second. And Manavong just shuffling a little bit in his back pocket. He'll range back up. Pitch on the way. Throw down. They got him out in front and back in time. Good throw down to Manavong as Miller was able to get back, and the count is 3-0. So a 2-2 count here for Leonardi, with Miller at second for the Canes. And Manavong takes a look at the play at third, wasn't playing there, so he goes across to Bedar in a 6-3 putout. And stepping in, Perrin. Strike called at the plate there, and the count is 0-1. And curveball there for Brody Taylor. And that'll do it. Brody Taylor takes care of business. Perrin will have a seat. They'll strand one. We'll head to the third frame. 3-0 Prospect. Stay with us. You're enjoying the 2025 Perfect Game WWBA. Well, we're ready to go here. And we're ready to go here, bringing you back in. Blake Barberena will start things off. Prospects leading this one 2-0. We're in the top of the third here. Perrin stays on the mound for the club. And the Prospects here in the third with Barberena will go 2-3-4. And Barberena takes a swing, fouls it off, and the count is 0-1. And a ball out, the count goes to 1-1. And the ball's low, the count goes to 2-1. Got a 2-1 count. Barberena ready to go. And a strike outside. The count goes to 2-2. So Perrin evens things up here in the top of the third in a 2-2 count. And a 2-2 count holds here as Barberena takes the cut, fouls it off down the first base side. Now Blake will step back in. Sunshine kind of popping in and out as the clouds move around here this afternoon. Heading towards the 2 p.m. hour. Barberena cuts it foul, straight back and out of play. Long hold here for Perrin. Gets the pitch call. The 2-2 pitch. Barberena, well hit ball into the gap. That ball's going to drop in to the fence line. It goes. Barberena going hard into second and all the way to the fence line. They'll cut it in, and Barberena will shut it down with a triple. So a well-hit ball for Blake Barberena, and finds himself at third base with a triple. Easton O'Quinn will step in with no outs here in the top of the third. So Barberena, the single and a triple today, is now in scoring position for Easton O'Quinn. And Perrin opens up with a curveball and strike on the outside. The count is 0-1.
Go East, stay hot, kid.
O'Quinn takes a cut, fouls it straight back. No outs, top of the third, 2-0 Prospects. Ball is low, the count goes to 1-2. And that gets away, and Barberena will get back to third. Ball just gets away from Perrin. A lot of heat out there, probably some sweat on his hands, and Perrin out there. No rosin on the mound there, but count goes to 2-2. Friend of mine, quick shout out to Howie Dittmeyer. And low part of the plate gets the call there, and O'Quinn will have a seat, strike out there. Jordan Leon will step in.
Go, J-Rock, gotta get him.
So Leon with Barberena parked at third, 1 out. Pitch on the way. Hard hit ball. That ball is deep. It's got some carry. Left fielder backing up and will pull it in, but tagging up. And a deep sacrifice fly for Jordan Leon. He'll get the RBI. So the bases are empty. They pick up their third. And Mateo Victoria will step in.
No, it's hot. It's hot and dry.
Lefty, lefty. We apologize there. Had a little bit of a glitch there on the technical side. And a big cut at the plate as Victorio gets on. And the count is 0-1 with 2 outs. Jordan Leon, sacrifice fly. Another throw over. Mason Moeller running for Victoria. And a big cut at the plate. The count's 0-2. Throw back over. And a ball smoked over to the dugout side of the Canes. Moeller on the move, swing and a miss, throw down to second. And not necessary there as a strikeout at the plate for Perrin. So we'll head to the bottom of the third, 3-0 Prospects. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Well, bringing you back into live action. We're ready to go here in the bottom of the third. 3-0 Prospects. Plunkett steps in. Swing and a miss at the plate. Brody Taylor works ahead. The count is 0-1. For those folks that are watching us here, the link dropped out, and the same link you received earlier is still active. So you can stay there, and Plunkett takes another cut. The count's 0-2. Plunkett hitting in the 9 spot, 9, 10, 11. As Taylor working from the stretch here. As Victorio steps up and runs it outside, the count goes to 1-2. Creeping in on 2 p.m. here in Hoover, Alabama. And strike 3 called at the plate. Plunkett gets caught looking, and Brody Taylor will pick up the strikeout. And Taylor and the Prospects with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Stepping in, the 10-hitter Strickland. And a strike there. The count is 0-1. Strickland steps back in here. Victorio sets up the 0-1 pitch. And inside, Taylor. Good command of the plate here, having a good sequence. The count is 0-2. And a ball low, the count is 1-2. And strike 3, Strickland gets caught looking inside. Brody Taylor runs it. And 2 down like that. 2 Ks back to back for Brody Taylor. Studbury will step in, hitting in the 11 spot. Right fielder for the Canes. And a ball up, the count's 1-0. And the count is 2-0. Taylor outside. Fastball. Count goes to 2-1. So Taylor evens things up here with a 2-2 count. And a ball missing inside. The count goes full at 3-2. And he did not go. Sudbury gets down on a walk. And Romanowski back to the top of the order. So Bedar over on the first base side, holding Studbury on, with Romanowski at the plate. Ball's pulled foul. And Taylor runs it out, gets the strike called. The count goes to 0-2. So Taylor working ahead here on the leadoff hitter, Romanowski. And a ball pulled foul. And swing and a miss upstairs. That'll do it. Strike three. And Brody Taylor strikes. Continue to working his stuff, and prospects will get back on the offensive side. We'll go to the fourth. 3-0 ZT. We'll be right back. We're ready to go back to live action. Kendrick will put it in play, and Brody Taylor will step in here in the fourth. They're ready to go. And the count is 1-0 to Taylor. Prospects here in the fourth. We'll go 7, 8, 9 hitters. Ball out, the count goes to 2-0. And hit by pitch. Upper part of the bicep area, kind of on the shoulder. But Taylor will get on board. And Noah Gerolimic will step in. Top of the fourth, no outs. So Geralamick will step in here with no outs, top of the fourth, 3-0 prospects. Moeller will run for Brody Taylor, the pitcher of record. Perrin opens up with a strike. The count's 0-1. And swing and a miss at the plate. And the count goes to 0-2. Runner on the move, swing and a miss at the plate, one hopper down, and Moeller will get in, and Geralamick will have a seat. And the strikeout. And Moeller moves up. Daniel Bedar will step in.
Let's go, D.
And Bedar takes a cut, fouls it off. So Kendrick, our head umpire, just letting Perrin know, work when he puts it in play.
Find that barrel here, kid.
As Kendrick controlling the pace of things here, just making sure everybody was set. Pitch on the way. Ball up, the count goes to 1-1. So Bedar with a 2-1 count and one out here in the fourth. He's got Moeller at second. Brody Taylor was on, hit by pitch. And Moeller running for him. Perrin takes a look, pitch on the way. Bedar cuts it foul. And the count goes to 2-2. Time called, Bedar steps out.
Let's go, D. baseball.
And Bedar hit by pitch there, gets down the hard way. And a hard 90 for Bedar. And runners at first and second. Charlie Blaylock will step in as Kendrick, our head umpire, I think his parents' hands getting a little bit of moisture build up on it here, and he'll get a towel out, and that'll stay out there. Hard to get a grip sometimes, and that gets away. So Blaylock steps in with 1 out. We're in the 4th. 3-0 Prospects. And Blaylock attempts to lay it down up the third base side, and it goes foul. Blaylock, 1 hopper. Should be an easy play there for the glove of first baseman Lowe. And everybody will move over 90 feet with 2 outs. And Brandon Manavong will step in. Just slightly past 2 p.m., 2:05 p.m. here in Hoover, Alabama. We're at the Met Sports Complex. You're enjoying the 2025 Perfect Game WWBA, the 14U division. Manavong, right side, foul.
Good job, B.
So Manavong will reload. Count is 0-1. Dar at second, Muller at third. And a ball low, the count goes to 1-1. Manavong, third base side, foul. And a 1-2 count for Perrin and the Canes. As Manavong looking for a knock here with 2 outs and Muller parked at third. Bedar's at second. Getting on board via hit by pitch. So Perrin with a 1-2 count on Manavong. And a ball up, count will even up at 2-2. And a 3-2 pitch. So a full count to Manavong as Perrin runs it up and out. And Manavong staying disciplined at the plate. Perrin looking for his out with 2 down. And Manavong looking to cash in on Muller over at third. Kendrick, our head umpire, gears up. He'll put him back in. We are ready to go. And that gets away, ball 4. So Manavong will get on board with a walk. And that'll load the bases for Carter Nash. So line drive is your friend here in the case with Nash, as the defense will play deep here. I mentioned it's 330 to the corners, 375 in the power alleys. And with runners on, you're really looking for a line drive. Perrin, on the other hand, is looking for his out. Nash looks at ball 1. The count is 1-0. Once again, we appreciate you joining us here live, whether you're on YouTube channel, Facebook pages, or sideline, any one of the viewing opportunities. Thank you. CB Stars as well. We appreciate you subscribing there. And the count goes to 2-0. Throughout the season, we do various podcasts and talk about what's going on in the world of youth travel baseball. Talking to some of the ZT players and players around the country. As the 2-0 count to Carter Nash. And Nash takes a look at the pitch there, and a strike gets through. So Perrin brings one back over, and the count is 2-1. Carter Nash, line shot right to the shortstop. And the prospects, with the bases juiced, they can't cash in. So the Canes get out of that one. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 prospects. We'll be right back. Now bringing you back in here, Brody Taylor stays on the hill. The count is 1-0 as we are in the bottom of the 4th frame. And adjusting things there on the right side. Noah Geralamick will pull it in. Drolamick in right field now. It's the first out as Furness takes a cut. So 1 out. Noah Drolamick in right field, taking care of things there. A little shuffling in the right field position. Brody Taylor normally plays right field. Of course, they've got him pitching today here. Gilbrook will step in. And Taylor locates the outside part of the plate. Fastball, the count's 0-1. And Gilbrook takes a cut off the end of the barrel there, fouls it off to the right side, and then Taylor working ahead at 0-2. And curveball missing, the count's 1-2. It's 67 now. And fastball out, the count evens up at 2-2. And Bedard will make a play there. Brody Taylor slides in. A good play from the defensive side as Bedard had to roll off of first base, and he backhanded it and tossed it over to Brody Taylor, who slid right into the bag to beat the runner. So good play there for Taylor and Bedard. They get 2 outs. Curve there opening up for Taylor. The count is 0-1. So Lowe stepping in. And Taylor just missing there. The count evens up at 1-1. Hard hit ball and left side. So Lowe takes a swing and a solid barrel there. Line shot as O'Quinn over on the third base side laid it out, but that ball was hit hard. It got through quickly, and Lowe gets on board with a single. Wilson will step in. Lowe gets on board with a single. Hard hit ball to the left side, and Bedard will hold on Lowe over at first. Ball cut foul. The count is 0-1. Lowe with a modest lead over at first. Pitch on the way. Ball is out in front. Victorio keeps it out. Nateo sends it back to Taylor with a 1-1 count here. Right-handed here in the 5-spot, Wilson. A long look at first. And a ball's cut foul. 1-2 count. Wilson had elevated his hand like he wanted to call time. It's not always granted at the plate, and so he had to reload quickly. He wasn't out of the box. And that can be kind of dicey at times. It's not always guaranteed when you put your hand up. The 1-2 pitch. And a ball elevated, stays up, and the count goes to 2-2. So Lowe with a single on board for the Canes here in the bottom of the fourth. Spadar holds him on, and a 2-2 count with 2 down. Back up the middle. Fielder's choice there off the glove, so they go to the easy way. Underhand toss. Jordan Leon to Manavong. And they'll turn the side. We'll head to the fifth. The Prospects leading this one 3-0. The 2025 Perfect Game WWBA Championships here at the Met Sport Complex in Hoover, Alabama. Chris Aller with the call. It's been a great tournament so far. One a day for all the teams. We're in day number 5. Tomorrow, Thursday, starts bracket play, and they'll start playing 2 a day. Should be a good one as the tournament continues to roll on. We appreciate you joining us here this afternoon. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So Bodie Malcolm will take over for the Canes on the hill. The lefty will get his warm-up tosses and we'll be ready to go as Blake Barberena and the Prospects will get on the offensive side, leading this one 3-0. We're in the top of the fifth, and the Prospects here with Barberena. They'll go 2-3-4. Stay with us. So Barberena will step in for the Prospects. As mentioned here, we're in the top of the fifth. 3-0 Prospects, and pitching change for the Canes. Left-hander taking over on the hill. Bodie Malcolm Parker Perrin did a good job, went through 4. And Malcolm ready to go. Ball is out. The count's 1-0. And a ball fouled back. And the count goes to 1-1 on Barberena. Barberena last at bat got a triple. And the count goes to 2-1. And leaving it up, the count goes to 3-1. And a 4-5 pitches, and Barberena gets down to first base. And Easton O'Quinn will step in. So O'Quinn will step in with Barberena over on the first base side. Lowe will hold him on. And Malcolm runs it in. And the count is 1-0. And a big cut at the plate, that gets through. And Malcolm evens the count at 1-1.
You got it, kid. Let's go. Nobody better, 1-6.
Barberena at first. Lowe holds him on. And another swing and a miss at the plate, Easton O'Quinn. And a 1-2 count. And that's behind O'Quinn. Throw down to second. And Barberena will move up 90 feet to second. And a 2-2 count for O'Quinn at the plate. And a ball missing out, and the count goes full at 3-2. Ball 4, Easton down to first, and Barberena has the ball passed at the plate. And Barberena will move over third. Prospects with runners at the corners and no outs here. We're in the 5th. Prospects leading this one 3-0. A visit out to the mound to talk to Malcolm. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So Jordan Leon steps in. Runners at the corners. Leon cuts it foul to the right side and out of play. Right at 2:30 p.m. here in Hoover, Alabama. A great event so far. Day 5. Runner on the move. Strike at the plate. Leon taking there, and runner will move up 90 feet. And the count's 0-2 for Malcolm. Ahead in the count here. Quinn at second, Barberena at third. Leon trying to cash in with no outs. And a ball up, lays off. The count goes to 1-2. And Leon dropped 3 there. Not in time at home, so on the drop 3, the ball's live. And taking advantage, Barberena. And the Prospects will get their 4th.
Good work, Coach.
So 1 out on the books. Victoria will step in with Easton O'Quinn at third. Prospects bring over their 4th. And a ball up, the count's 1-0.
Go, Monster. Get him in, Monster.
And Victoria looks at a strike. The count evens up at 1-1. So Malcolm goes outside, gets the outer third call. Victoria, second baseman. And a sacrifice there, but he'll get a run over. And the Prospects will pick up their 5th here with 2 down. Bases are empty. Trey Lawrence will step in. And the count is 1-0. And a strike there. The count goes to 1-1. And a ball low. The count goes to 2-1. So Trey Lawrence with a 3-1 count. Trey Lawrence deep. And that's to the fence line, and that ball's jumping out of the fence. And Trey Lawrence with a ground rule double and ends up at second base on the ground rule. And Brody Taylor will step in. Coach Trey, a little bit of housekeeping work there, and hands it off. Trey Lawrence to Trey. And Taylor will step in. And a 2-0 count here to Brody Taylor. Trey Lawrence at third. For those of you that are at home watching, we had another glitch jump there real quickly. Go ahead and launch your link that you've been on, and that's active for you to be able to watch the game. And Brody Taylor finds himself on board with a walk. And runners at the corners. So Taylor down at the first base side. Trey Lawrence at third, and Noah Geralamick will step in. So 2 down. And Geralamick looks at ball 1. Count is 1-0. Lawrence with good speed down on the third base side, and Brody Taylor. 5-0 prospects. We're in the 5th. And safe under the tag. So Carlos uses the old leaning the wrong way trick, and it pays off for Avila and the prospects. Taylor was able to get back and up the third base side for the 6th run. The prospects will bring over Trey Lawrence. A 1-0 count here. And the count goes to 2-0 with 2 outs. And Geralamick pulls it foul. And the count goes to 2-1. Curveball missing there. The count goes to 3-1. So Geralamick gets on board with a walk, and Donnie El-Badar will step in. And it looks like a visit out to the hill here. That might be short work for Malcolm. And it looks like a pitching change coming forth here with the Canes. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Prospects leading this one 6-0. We're in the 5th. So the Canes and their pitching change. Grant Plunker takes over. Right-hander gets some warm-up tosses, and we'll be ready to go to face Bedard here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. 6-0 prospects. Well, as you continue through your 2025 baseball seasons, learn more about what's going on around the country, showcases different tournaments around the country, go to perfectgame.org. As events, the big ones such as this one, the WWBA, the World Series, and of course, a lot of the big national title events, big events throughout the country. Of course, the super regional NITs, which get you to the big events at the year. And certainly WWBA representing one of those, as I believe it was right around 160 teams, if I may stand corrected, entered in. They'll take 64 teams into bracket play tomorrow. And things will start to heat up, get hot and heavy tomorrow. As good competition here in pool play closing out here today. It's been 1 game per day per team. And starting tomorrow, they'll start to double up games, so 2 games per day as you work your way through the bracket. So pitching change made, quick visit out to the mound. Time has expired. We'll finish the bottom of the frame, is that the Canes are the home team. And with 2 outs, the right-hander Grant Plunkert takes over. Brody Taylor at second. Geralamick at first. Bedard will step in. Kendrick puts it in play. And a ball out. The count is 1-0. Plunkert steps off. Shortstop shuttling in. Bedard takes a look. Looked like he was going to pull the trigger there. And laid off. As a little backfiring on a golf cart. It was not a gunshot, just for the record. And the count is 1-1. A little backfire on one of the golf carts that's cruising around the Met complex here, and the ball is out. The count goes to 2-1. So Bedard locked in. Shortstop shuttling around Brody Taylor's back pocket, and Bedard looks again at a strike. And the count goes to 2-2. O'D will step back in with a 2-2 count and 2 outs. Top of the 5th frame. Shortstop in tight. Plunkert will step off, and a visit out to the bump. Dunlap catching now as a visit with his pitcher. Bedard, fielder's choice there. They go the short way. And they'll turn the side over. Well, to the bottom of the 5th, 6-0 prospects. So a pitching change here for the ZT prospects. Here in the bottom of the fifth, the right-hander Amin Khan. He'll get his warm-up tosses with Victorio as Amin gets some work in here today. As Khan gets his tosses in, we'll be ready to go. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So Victorio sends it down to second base. We'll be ready to go here as our head umpire, Kendrick, will set the table once we're ready to go. And the bottom of the fifth frame. Time has expired. The Canes get the bottom of the frame. And stepping in, Dunlap. The Canes will go 6, 7, 8. Some adjustments off of the first base side. Easton O'Quinn at first. In right field, Jimmy Stout. Jordan Leon at second. Barberin at short. And Geralamek over on third base. That's the defensive adjustment made there for the prospects. So Amin opens up with the ball. The count's 1-0. And a good-looking pitch there. Dunlop takes a cut, fouls it off, and Khan will even things up here at 1-1. And a good pitch there, curveball in for the strike, and the count goes to 1-2.
What I want the kid, let's go.
And the count gets even at 2-2. And a ball out, the count goes full at 3-2. And swing at the plate, chop foul comes straight back. Yes, Dunlop will stay in at 3-2. And strike three on the outside. So Khan comes in. Amin runs it outside, gets the outer third called, and will pick up a K. And one out for the prospects here in the bottom of the fifth frame.
Attention, this concession stand.
Leonardi will step in the 7 spot. And the count is 1-0. And a ball's pulled foul and out of play to the left side. Leonardi will step back. The count is 1-1. Closing in on the 3 p.m. hour this afternoon. Here in Hoover, Alabama, we appreciate you joining us live here in the 2025 WWBA, brought to you by Perfect Game. 2-1 count. And a ball low, the count goes to 3-1. So Leonardi not chasing anywhere there. Khan just looking to throw one over. He's got a good defense behind him in the 3-1 count. And he gets the outside part of the plate. Missing there, ball 4. So Khan having a little trouble there in his second batter. Gets a K and a walk. Coach Ortiz head outs to the mound. Quick word with Hakeem. Stay with us. And Hakeem there locates, pairing righty-lefty matchup, and the count is 0-1. And back-to-back strikes there.
Hey, sit it down. Let's go.
Tag is there. And off the bag, safe at first. So a double play, which was automatic, was not executed. Jordan Leon put the tag on the runner advancing. But 2 outs. Wasn't able to get the throw over to O'Quinn in time as the runner gets on board. And Hakeem opens up with a strike. And the count is 0-1 to Plunkett. And it's curved there. Well, the 0-2 count with 2 outs, down to their final strike here. The bottom of the 5th. Kahn ready to deal. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll do it. That's the ball game. The Prospects, they do it in 5. The time exhausted. And Amin Khan comes in and takes care of business for the Prospects, and the Prospects will win this one 6-0. So the Prospects will move into bracket play tomorrow, Thursday. It's been a good run so far. Chris Allard with the call. It's been a good one. As the Prospects here today, they win this 6-0 on 7 hits, 1 error. On the other side with the Canes, 4 hits and no runs, as the Prospects finish it in 5-6-0. Player shakes hands. That's what it's all about. Sportsmanship prevails here. I'd like to thank Katie behind the scenes. Perfect game, keeping things smooth and efficient. Keep an official score and so forth. Our umpire today, Kendrick, working with his partner, Jonathan. I'd like to thank them as well. The Prospects, they move on. Day 5 is officially in the books, closing things out from the Met Sports Complex in Hoover, Alabama. Chris Allard with the call. It's been a great one as we continue to roll on. The 2025 Perfect Game WWBA. For now, we'll say so long from the Met Sports Complex. We'll be bringing you live tomorrow. Have a great evening.